Excellent pot. We may have a new favourite for the tournament.
Here comes Angles.
Absolutely remarkable. One of the best clearances I've ever seen in my life.
The world #1 finishes in style.
Good evening. We've got 4 players and 1 table left here inside the Crucible Theatre in this year's Betfred World Championship. And the likeability factor is high in our semi-final lineup because we've got a quartet of players who are amongst the most popular and best respected in the sport. Now, significantly, none of them has won a major title this term, and that's about to change for one of them as they hit the jackpot over the next 4 days. Now, this evening, we have got Mark Selby, the world #1, about to take on Marco Fu in their first session. But this afternoon brought us a very curious and rather historic event. The first meeting between 2 qualifiers in a semi-final here since 1978, as 45-year-old Alan McManus met China's new favourite for the title, Ding Junhui.
Opening frame and style to that magnificent century break. And Ding Junhui leads Alan McManus 2 frames to 0. Superbly well. He takes all 4 frames and he leads 4-0. That's awkward. Terrific. And he closes the gap. It's now 5-2. There. It has been the Ding Junhui show here this afternoon. Ding Junhui takes the session 6 frames to 2.
And the 1997 world champion Ken Doherty is with us. Ken, 4 centuries from Ding today. The record in a semi-final is 5, incidentally. That's surely on shaky ground now. But has the real Ding Junhui finally emerged in this theatre at long last?
I think so, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. He's built up to steam, you would have to say. And, you know, we talked about the qualifiers, 2 qualifiers in the semi-final. And maybe, you know, those 3 matches are the qualifiers for Ding because he was searching for a bit of confidence. He's been using Terry this season. And I think those 3 matches has given Ding that little bit of sparkle, that little bit of confidence that he's need, and he's carried it right through, and he's getting better and better every single round.
Now, as for Alan McManus, remarkable story. 23 years after his last Crucible semi-final, when Ding Junhui was only 6, by the way. Extraordinary, isn't it? But how precarious at 2-6 down is his situation even now?
Even at 6 years of age, Ding was probably still making century breaks, you know. But funny enough, I remember that semi-final with Alan McManus. It was his big breakthrough into the top 16. It was remarkable because he only turned professional, I think, in 1990 or 91. The 2 frames that he did win could be crucial because it's given him a little bit of hope. When it looked very precarious at one stage for Alan McManus, he's going to dig in, and he's still in this match. There's no doubt about that, but he needs a better start. And I think the start that Ding got, he sort of compounded, you know, his lead. But Alan is a great fighter. He's full of heart, and I'm sure he's going to get stuck in the next session.
And so much for the fatigue of the qualifiers. We're definitely going to have a qualifier in this year's final, which is a remarkable story in itself. But as for this second semi-final, it's going to be contested by Snooker's Brinkman and Snooker's model professional, Marco Fu.
He hasn't got a weakness, I don't think. He's a very good match player, as like, everyone will understand, because he's been here for a long time, and he's the type of player that feels very comfortable playing at the Crucible, especially the one-table setup. It's going to be a very big challenge for me.
There's not going to be any favourites as such, and I won't go out there believing, obviously, like I'm one of the favourites. I'll just go out there and play one frame at a time and try and stay focused and see what happens.
It's going to be a very tough game. I'm still a long way to go, like 2 matches. But best of 33, best of 35, a long way to go. Just need to take it 1 match at a time, 1 ball at a time.
Sitting here now in the semi-final, I feel as though like I've played all season and not had a day off. That's what the tournament does to you. It's such a long tournament, so mentally draining and physically draining, but that's what it is. It's the same for everyone else, and it's whoever's the last man standing is the strongest. You can't predict, obviously, the nerves you're going to feel when you go out there, so hopefully I can just stay calm and stay relaxed and play good snooker.
Well, there's a situation. Marco Fu survived a furiously fabulous comeback against Barry Hawkins last night and dished up, there's appropriately, dished up one of the greatest clearances we have ever seen to win it. It's been 10 years since his only previous appearance in the last 4. Mark Selby won the title 2 years ago. It's the 4th time in total that he's been in the semi-finals. And after 13 days of graft and effort and tension, what a significant moment this will be once again for the two of them. And it's time to get things underway this evening with MC Rob Walker.
Thanks, Hazel. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This fabulous atmospheric arena takes on a slightly different feel when we get down to the one-table setup. Some of the sport's ultimate showdowns have happened at the semi-final stage of the Betfred World Snooker Championship. We are all set for another rocking night of entertainment here at the Crucible. The Sheffield crowd are ready to roar once more. Please welcome a player making his first appearance in the one-table setup for 10 years. Here after a brilliant clearance last night against the resurgent Barry Hawkins, twice a ranking event winner, he is one of the sport's most important global ambassadors. So raise the roof from Hong Kong, he's Marco Fu. His opponent, a player of immense self-belief who never loses his cool under pressure. 9 years after his first semi-final, he's back for a 4th crack at the one-table setup. Multiple Masters champion, world champion, of course, 2 years ago. He's poised and ready for another massive night here at the Crucible. He's the world #1. He's the jester from Leicester. He's Mark Selby.
It's best of 33 frames, played over 4 sessions between now and Saturday night for these men. First to 17 is the target as we extend the duration and the difficulty from here on in. Willie Thorne, John Virgo will keep us right this evening. Evening, fellas.
Good evening, Hazel, and good evening, everybody, to the start of the first session. 4 sessions. In the first 3 sessions, 8 frames, and then the possible 9 frames for the final session. And this semi-final, Willie, promises to be an absolute cracker.
Absolutely looking forward to that. The pleasure of commentating on the Fu yesterday against with Barry Hawkins, and honestly, it was one of the best sessions I've ever commentated on. He produced a miraculous clearance in the last frame to pinch it. And Mark Selby is getting better and better. He's nowhere near his best by any stretch of the imagination, and that's not a very good break-off.
No, that's your worst possible start, isn't it? He's caught the end red too thick. Much too thick. There's a tournament pot success. That's why they've got here. You've got to have 90% or above to win in this class of opposition. Long pot success. Well, Marco Fu about right. A little bit low for Mark Selby. But he won't be happy with this break-off. Gifting Marco an easy starter. Safety, a bit low for both players. And there's the high breaks. We know that they're very, very capable of winning frames in one visit.
Both these wonderful players have had over 400 centuries, John. I think it's 404 Marco Fu, 414 Selby. This is the break-off. Caught it far too thick.
Yeah, Rob Walker, when he was introducing the players. 10 years since Marco Fu was last in the semi-final of the World Championship. Just giving this every consideration. I mean, this is where he played to leave the cue ball, so he must have had thoughts of maybe playing the pot, trying to cannon the black into play. Well, in the end, was undecided. Tried to pinch a bit.
Marco Fu, 6.
So, nice easy starter. Disappointed he only got 6 points. Entitled to be a little bit nervous, of course. First frame in such a big match. It's funny, Willie, when you say that Mark Selby has not been at his best so far in the tournament. I think he's the type of player that doesn't strive to be his best, really. He's quite happy to take what's there, and if he gets a scrappy frame, then it just makes him concentrate a little bit harder.
I think the real beauty of Mark Selby is that his B game is exceptional, and he knows he's one of those players also that can put every adversity out of his mind and play the next shot as if it's the first. Not many players do that.
Yeah, some players, if they're not playing at their absolute best, their heads drop. Be a little bit disappointed with that. So signs that both players just got a little bit of tension in the arm. Well short of pace on this positional shot.
Yeah, screwing this in, trying to come off the edge of the reds and try and get out for blue or pink. That was a delayed reaction on the pink, and I think he's been unlucky. Just keep an eye on this white. It actually stopped when it hit the first red, and all of a sudden took off.
Yeah, I thought for a moment like you that this pink didn't go to the middle, but I think it just about squeezes in. Nicely played. It'll be interesting to see where the pink will pot once it's respotted. We've got all the angles covered now. We're down to the one table. And that's the beauty of the Crucible Theatre. Okay, it only holds just over 900 people, but everybody has a good view of the action.
Well,
we just need a little bit more side. Right, it's early in the match. I don't think he'd be tempted by the brown. I think it'd just be a safety.
Both these players exceptional safety players. He decided the safety's not guaranteed, so it looks like he's going to be taking the brown on. Very good. That shows signs John is feeling pretty good with himself.
Well, that was an excellent shot. If that cue ball had been another
50.
couple of inches away from the cushion, it had been absolutely inch perfect to pot this red above the black. As we watch that brown again, that was a big shot to take on early on in the match, and it'll be a real confidence booster that he knocked it in clean as a whistle.
Just got an edge here. We can flick the black out. And, okay, the black might be going close to the cushion, but he may be able to just knock it into a position where it pots. And he's played that lovely. And in turn,
60.
this black removes the red away from the black spot. So if this black goes in from nowhere, he's got the balls in open play.
Mark Selby.
It's always
60.
the danger when you're thinking you're going to be running into a ball. He's trying to develop the red.
Touching ball.
And it just seems human nature. You just take your eye off the pot slightly. You just feel if that red hadn't have been there, he'd have potted that. Now, has he got away with it? Touching ball has been declared by a referee, Brendan Moore. Referee Brendan Moore, local man, comes from Sheffield.
Surely touching ball, he'd be able to see one of the reds, John, to pot.
Yeah.
Either two on the left into the middle. You wouldn't think he'd be snookered on both of them, but he's playing safe.
Well, he maybe could get to the left down one of the two, but doesn't deem it the right shot to play. But Mark lucky not to leave the one to this corner. Just under hit that slightly. He'll be a little bit annoyed. Clear run back to the balk end. Should have found the balk cushion.
Yes, and worse still, he can get through to the potting angle of this red. Always had that little bit of a head movement, Mark Selby, when playing the shot. I don't think he's got away with this one. I think he can get through to the red in the middle.
One.
Wrong side the blue normally speaking, but with that red in the balk end, no problem for position.
Six. Seven.
You can always tell when there's a little bit of tension in the arm where the player seems to hit the ball hard but getting very little movement on the cue ball.
Timing's not quite there yet. It's not too bad on the brown or the green. If he wanted to play the green and go into the bunch, but he's playing the brown.
Well, there is a couple of loose reds, and that's what he's playing for. Ooh, has this run too far?
11.
He's having a close look. Little shake of the head. What does that tell us?
This game is all about fractions, isn't it, John?
Yeah.
Fraction away from being on this red.
Well, I think he thinks he can just turn it over with a touch of left-hand side here. Yes.
12.
So, just about on it, and now in potting this black, surely we'll come off the side cushion into the cluster, try and bring other reds into play. He's got a red to the right middle. Hit them well.
19.
Deserved better, didn't he? Couldn't have played that shot into the bunch better than that. And the red in the middle, he can't get top side of the blue. Too risky to screw back for the pink in the middle. So they'll have to be playing the blue in and out of baulk in potting this red. Yeah, very unlucky there, Marco, not to get a better split than that.
Yeah, and it's amazing, isn't it? He was playing the red, he knew he wasn't going to have good position on the colour, so it was just a case of making certain the red. Ooh, it nearly dropped. So I'll let off Mark Selby. If you can get good position on the blue here. He's got to cue this well, as I say. Both players have not just got the timing right so far. How can he get on the blue off this? Cued that nicely. And a little bit unfortunate, in all honesty. Hampered by the red. May elect to play the yellow. No, he must feel just by dropping the blue in, he'll automatically come on that red that's just below the pink. So that made it a little bit easier. As long as you don't have a lot of work to do with the cue ball. On this red, black available.
Seven.
Just a little bit low, but he may be able to nudge it, or he could play the cannon to two reds, but I think playing the run through, he just nudges the red to the right of the black towards this pocket. Judged it nicely.
Yes, and pushed it in such a way that he could just stop the white dead here.
40.
Leave the three-quarter ball black, and then play into those two reds and pink that John said needed moving.
Thanks. 50.
The only problem is if he hits the front red full ball, he may stick on them, so he may decide to go up for the red over the middle pocket and then play the cannon off the blue. Yes, he's playing up for that one first, and that's not a bad idea because it's a big target to go into from the blue into that red and pink. In 2 shots' time, we're trying to hit the red and pink at the same time, and that'll bring both reds into play.
22.
13 points to lead. So if after this red, the cannon from blue to those two reds.
23.
If it goes right, could be a frame winner.
If you tend to play this hard, John, so it pushes the second red on and off the cushion, or is it cannon into the black?
Yeah, well, just the line I'm looking, if he caught it too far, I think it would run into the black, but then if you play it slow, you could finish on nothing. So I think a little bit more pace than you would normally expect. That was the problem. I suppose a little bit unlucky, but as you said, I'd have favoured.
28.
He needed to hit the red a little bit thinner than that. But it was never going to be easy to develop one of those reds into a perfect potting position, although you certainly play into the middle, but it's tricky. Couldn't play it much better than that. Super shot.
29.
And after black, red, black, he'd be 35 points in front. Now he's going to have to play for blue or pink, so he's going to need that last red to leave Marco Foodney in snookers.
36.
Needs a good angle on the blue. Well, he's got it if he plays the blue into this left corner pocket. Well, he's going to play the brown. He's Potted a much more difficult shot than this, swinging it round off 3 cushions for the red. The only red it needed. Oh, and he looks to have played this well, at least to slow up a fraction. Just one of them slightly awkward ones, playing into a blind pocket. You got to pick out the angle and trust yourself. Red for the frame. Right in the heart of the pocket.
42. Marco will be very disappointed. He's had 2 chances to win this opening frame.
Now that black's gone in, he won't be getting another one. Mark Selby now 40 ahead with just 27
49.
remaining. Doubt very much whether Marco will carry on. No, he knocked his concession. It was a frame where both players had a couple of chances. A little bit of tension in the arm. But at the end of the day, first frame goes to world number 1, Mark Selby.
And from the semi-final stages onwards, we've moved indoors because we're right in here in our little bubble studio within touching distance of the table here. It's a fantastic view, and we can really soak up the nerves and the tension.
Absolutely.
And there is a fair bit of it. I think it's inevitable at the start.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the players, you know, the little bit of first frame tension, semi-final. You know, the first time they played at the one table this competition this year, and they're feeling the table as well because the table has changed. New cloth. It's in the middle of the room, of course, as well. So it's acceptable that they're going to miss a few chances. Marco Phil was a little bit unlucky when he had a split, but this is why John Parrott calls Mark Selby the Hoover, because once he gets a chance. Now, he played a little cannon, as the lad said in commentary, but just look at how confident he plays this shot into a blind pocket, and he played the cue ball around the angles off 2 cushions to hold for the black. It was a lovely shot under pressure.
Please, thank you.
OK, so Mark Selby, the world
Marco,
number 1,
to break.
is certainly set off on the right foot as we head into frame 2 of a possible 33.
And Hazel, this is a possible match that could go all the way. Both these players, I think in fairness, Marco Fu's played the better than this tournament than Mark Selby, but we know Mark Selby's going to improve. This looks a long way off.
Foul, the miss. Marco Fu.
That was a misjudgment.
I can't make my mind up now, John, whether he's playing 1 cushion or 2. That's how far away it was with that.
Well, I thought it was a 2 cushion escape. I'm surprised he went off the 1 cushion. Marco, considering he can get through to the potting angle of this red. Could play it in the middle or the far left corner. Looks like the middle. He'll be wishing now he had them replaced. Although, having said that, he's not left this red too easy. Nice to see, though, that Marco was in a positive frame of mind there, playing that red. Mark not playing the pot here.
Thank you.
That red's just run on a fraction too hard, and I think Marco can play safe off it. Where's the black ball going? Was always a danger, but he was always going to run the red into the black. That made certain the red didn't go over the corner pocket. Very aggressive safety shot there from Mark Selby, and didn't play it very well, in all honesty. And he's fortunate not to leave anything So I'll keep playing those attacking safeties and bringing the reds open, but you got to find the baulk cushion normally.
Are you sure your phones are switched off, please?
I don't know if it's just me, John. I think this table was playing a little bit slower than the when there were a two-table situation.
It seems like that at the moment. As I say, the first frame we put it down a little bit of tension, just not going through with the cue as they would normally, but no, a couple of shots there. Looks as though it's coming off a bit slow, the top cushion.
Yeah, I mean, one cushion escape, you'd expect to find the baulk cushion, but they've both been short.
Once again, can't reach the baulk line. Never mind the baulk cushion. Good pot, found the gap, saw the gap. Knew he could get down to the baulk end, and he may just about be on the brown here. Pick this out and you can see the path of the cue ball. He knew he'd be playing as a shot with an element of safety. I thought he may just be about on the brown, but
Green ball.
now he's rolling up behind the green, so obviously he can't get through to the brown.
Marco full 1.
Yeah, it's well, the reds spread as they are, and it was Mark Selby who played that aggressive safety a few shots ago. Not going to be guaranteed to get this safe. I mean, if you could get to the left-hand side cushion, you may be able to make contact with the red on the right-hand side of the table. That's the line he's looking for. Well, it was a good hit, and obviously keeping the cue ball on that side of the table, he knows the black is blocking the corner pocket for any possible pots. Good escape.
This is a real tempter though, isn't it? Down the cushion, get onto the blue. Obviously, if he gets really close to the pot, it could stick into the jaws of the pocket he's playing it in, but usually when they're playing the pace he would do to get onto the blue, the red should run along the top cushion. It looks like he's itching to play it. Be interesting to see what kind of pace he plays this at, whether he just plays it dead weight or whether he plays a little bit firm to bring it away from the pocket, and that's nowhere near. Surprising way he played that.
As you say, the thing is with that shot, if you get in the jaws, invariably it will just rattle and come along, but as you say, he only just caught the left-hand jaw. So an unexpected opportunity for Mark. You'd think he'd play for the black off this red. He can stay at the baulk end and still be on the black. Now, the white's a little bit further out from the cushion. The black's on, bound to be running into other reds. Just to look a little bit with position, but the main thing in playing the shot, don't miss the black. Bound to be running into the reds. Now, where does the black go? Is it available? No.
8.
But at least he's got the pink in the open and the blue on its spot. So you regard this as a half-decent chance.
I'm just a little concerned if he plays the get on the pink at some stage, it's going to go on to the brown or green spot. So what he'll probably try and do here is probably play it for the blue to make sure that the pink remains in play for a moment, so he gets that pink spot cleared. So that'll be paramount of importance now. Get onto the blue nicely to get onto the red that's on the pink spot. That's what he'll be thinking now. That's gone too far to make that shot a reality, or an easy shot to play. Could have done with it being another 6 inches short.
Well, we've got a choice of reds now.
14.
One to the left corner, one to the right corner. I think either one, there's a little bit of work to do with the cue ball. I don't think it's just a straightforward pot and get position. Played that with a lot of right-hand side. That just shows you, we were saying the table looks a bit slow off the safeties, but when he's played his positional shots here off the cushion, he's overhit it slightly.
And once again, he's gone that little bit too far. The one on the pink spot is itching to get onto, but doesn't have the angle this time again.
Yeah, that red just below the pink is only available into the right corner.
Didn't play to flick the pink, and that's turned out to be a lot better than it first looked.
20. $21. Yeah.
Well, with the angle he had on the red, he's played twice to get onto the blue, to get onto the red on the pink spot. And obviously now decided that because the pink will be out of commission, he's playing the blue. So he's still playing for that red on the pink spot. He's tried to get on it 3 times. How's it looking this time? Once again, not perfect, but he's on it.
26.
He just can't get out of this hole at the minute, John, can he? He's reluctant to play the pink.
27.
But he's got no choice now.
Well, where does that pink go? Well, there is no pink spot available. Highest available is the brown spot.
33. $34.
Well, needed just an inch or two more roll. There you see, just the wrong side of our blue line. So he can't get close to the next red. I'll have to leave a mid-distance pot. A little bit careless.
Yes, even at this standard you find it hard now and again, and he said 3 times he played to get right side of the blue, didn't go too far.
39.
Then when he wanted to get right side of the blue this time, didn't go far enough, so this break has been workmanlike so far. He's not been in prime position once. It looks like that's still not going to be in prime position. It's strange, doesn't it? 3 times too far, twice not enough, and he's just smiling at the way things have been going now.
Yeah, he tried to give it a bit of hip movement to get that cue ball going a bit further, but once again, can't get the right angle. I think the only thing that's impressing me at the moment with those half-ball pots he's playing, Willie, is they're going right in the heart of the pocket.
He's looking at playing just a roll through, but he's blessed with so much cue power. He can go in and out of balk off this blue and come around the angles, but he decided to play the green So just plain ball, doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball, just bring it straight back down or virtually over the green spot. Choice of 2 reds. Right over the green spot, choice of 2 reds. He's played this very well.
.43. .44.
This time a little bit too thin. He may here. So let me have a look. 39 in front. This blue one putting 44 in front. Could be worth now. Playing a little cannon into the black. Would hold the white and release a couple of reds, which he needs to win the frame. You can't play it any better than that. Oh, and unlucky really that the black just bounced up a fraction. So
49.
Up for the blue, but the reds he requires are now in potable positions.
50.
Hey, he's got there.
It just shows you what's going through a player's mind. When they know they've got balls in a problem position, they're trying to move them, and every time he got the wrong side. This time he has nothing to do with the cue ball. A little bit of left-hand side just to straighten it up. And he'll be nicely on the red, 2 up from the black. Well, this is a bit slow. What's he doing there? They lost a bit of concentration there, John, I think.
I think he did.
55.
I think he did. There was nothing for being short on this red. Well, it went in, and it was not to be sneezed at.
56.
Timing.
Deceleration, John, wasn't it?
I think the sneeze didn't help, Willie. And he's on nothing. He was looking for that red, a colour, and one more red. He won't be getting it this visit unless he takes on a very risky blue.
And this 56 break has never been in position once where he wanted to be. And he can't really put a colour save because he's on right on top of the green.
Green ball.
So thin off the green, trying to get the white in behind brown and pink.
Yeah, obviously it was touching ball given
Mark
on the
Selby,
green, which
56.
made it a little bit easier. He's unlucky there. He worked very hard, just 2 or 3 pots away from winning the frame. So Marco comes to the table, 51 points behind, 59 remaining. He's got to get this safe. Well, he's played the up and down. Thought that was the only way he could guarantee to get the red safe. It's not bad. And of course the reason safety and not leave a pot on was the priority. If Mark Selby pots the red, he goes 52 points in front with only 51 remaining. And as you see from the virtual image, he can't get through to the potted angle, but he can play safe off this red. Play it round the angles. Stun the cue ball to the baulk cushion. Where's the cue ball going? Oh! It's a good safety now. Played the red into the black. Got it a bit thick, and he didn't really want the black up at that end of the table, but he knew that was the only way he could guarantee to leave it safe. Strange choice of shot, that one. Can't believe he... Well, I don't think he went for the pot. I think he played it off the top cushion, side cushion, and come back for safety. Just got it too thin, and it went into the jaws, and he's left Marco a shot at this. He's got to be wary of that right middle pocket, though, if he catches it too thick. Played it well. Watch the right middle pocket. Watch the right middle pocket.
Foul.
Natural to
Mark
go
Selby
in.
4.
And because he was so close to the baulk cushion, he couldn't widen the angle. It's unlucky.
Yes, Mark Selby breathing a sigh of relief after that poor safety shot at his previous visit. And without Snookers, Mark Selby will be going 2-0 in front.
Yeah, 1 4-point snooker for Marco to tie. But the way this red's going, if he stops short of the black, I don't think he'll be getting another shot this frame.
Considering he's had the cue ball in control, Mark Selby absolutely delighted to be taking a 2-0 lead. The black's going back on the shown spot. He'll play for the red that's on the back cushion. Just come down over the black spot with the cue ball off one cushion. A little exhibition shot here through the gap of the brown and yellow. Try and drop right in behind this red into the opposite corner.
$16.
Great effort, but the 49 in the first
in the
frame,
frame.
a 56 in the second frame. Mark Selby has taken an early lead, and it's 2-0.
And Selby very efficiently 2-0 in front. In fact, I think efficient is probably a good way of describing his progress through the championship so far. He's played 3 qualifiers to this point, and this is, in theory, the toughest part of the draw for him.
Yeah, he hasn't played a top 16 player. This is his first time. So, yes, you would say he had a tough match against Corin Wilson, even against Sam Baird, 13-11. But Marco Phil was pushed right to the wire by Barry Hawkins, so maybe there might be some after effects of that, maybe not, but it's such a long match. But Mark Selby certainly has settled in very, very quickly, and just like Ding did this afternoon. But it's also quite evident that Mark Selby, he's joking with the crowd, he looks very, very relaxed, and that's always a good sign, but a bad sign for Marco Phil, of course.
Now, as for Marco, those of you who watched it online and on the red button last night must have been absolutely enthralled, as was I and everybody else, because it was perhaps one of the greatest clearances we have ever seen from Marco Fu to get over the line against Barry Hawkins under the most extreme pressure. He must feel that he's got a second life in this championship.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think making those clearances, they are so much better than making any century, big century around like that, because that is under extreme pressure to clear up, and particularly the way Barry Hawkins had come back at him and fought so hard to get back into the match. But to make that pressure clearance when it looked like his game was completely gone, that gives you so much confidence and so much belief, and hopefully he will carry it through to this semi-final.
Back we go.
Just the wide, yeah.
And that was a long way away from Marco.
Yeah.
Probably playing it with a trace aside just to try and straighten the cue ball. Big bounce on impact. I think his expression and the wry smile tells you it wasn't the best contact. Just potted 1 out of 5 this evening, but I'm certain that'll get better as this match goes on. Well, poor shot from Mark. Don't know what it is, Willie. Maybe you're right. Just a bit slow off this top cushion because they're not finding the baulk cushion, which you would normally expect Mark Selby to do when being so close to the reds.
And when Marco played that last long pot and it went into this back cushion, it made a heck of a thud. So I'm just wondering whether it may be a little loose or something.
Well, once again, another frames where the reds, after a couple of safety shots, are wide open. So this puts the player on his guard. You know, if you make a mistake here, could cost you the frame.
Obviously, if he's playing the red just below the pink, well, he's actually playing the one to the left of the pink, and he's found a path to go right in between those two reds to the right of the black. If he gets the pot, he'll get the gap. It's one of those, if you miss the pot, you could career into reds. He's got the gap, he's got the pot. He'll be hoping for a fifth yellow. He hasn't got it. But an excellent pot.
Well, another terrific pot. As I say, once again, right in the heart of the pocket.
Brown ball. Mark Selby 1.
Mark just come around to look down to see if he's tight enough to the green. He'd like to cut out the one cushion escape because Marco will be attempting to hit the red that's closest to the top cushion. So it's twice across. You've got to miss the blue, and it can sometimes slide off that second cushion. It's not guaranteed to hit this. That's the line he's looking at. Oh, nowhere near.
Foul and a miss. Mark Selby 4.
Oh, I've got to be honest, John, off the second cushion, that just slid terrible. The table played beautifully this morning.
Well, Mark just having a look if the black will go into the corner. And this red along the top cushion, I was just going to say it was a nice angle, but the referee took the white away. Let's have a look.
Yes, Mark quickly decided the angle wasn't great. I'm just going to see if he plays the same shot again, John, how much it slides off the second cushion. You put the line up before, John, and he almost travelled on your line, and as soon as it hit the second cushion, it seemed to diversify quite a lot. The shot's not on, playing it that way.
Foul and a miss. Mark Selby 4.
Now, I've not put the completion on here, Willie, but the second line, where that hits on the cushion, that's where you've got to hit. Because, as we say, it's going to slide off the second cushion. Got to get a little bit closer to the blue.
Just wondering how close he gets to the blue this time.
Yeah.
It's not on that way, John, is it?
It's too low. And look at the speed.
Is. Oh, dear.
Won't be having this one put back.
Mark Selby 4.
Well, I said he won't be having it put back, but then again, I can't see a... Is there a pot to this corner? Yeah, I think the outside one is a thin cut. And even that one just about went
1.
Yeah, that was trickier than it looked. One of them, that if you were straight behind it, you couldn't miss it, but playing it into a slightly blind pocket. Now this is a tester, but so far I've been very impressed with his potting.
6.
He's getting the cue through nicely, and this is a test of cueing. Once again,
7.
okay, that time it just flipped the jaw, but there was never any danger of it staying out, and he's perfect on the blue.
Well,
he's got a choice here. He's got the red to the right corner. I don't know whether he can screw round the back of the black and the two reds, because the black is available into the pocket he's playing this red. It's a very precise positional shot needed, though.
Yes, it's risky when you consider it's quite a straightforward shot to get onto the blue.
But we know if you can get on the black and get the black available into both corners, then you consider it a frame-winning chance.
13.
Go for another 3 inches of pace. That would have been absolutely